Alright, let's talk about this KJV Only thing that's been going around. I get a lot of comments dogging on me for not doing the KJV Only thing. And I'll admit, when I first became a Christian, I bought into the whole KJV is the most accurate Bible. Well, guess what? No, it's not. They have found plenty of mistakes in the KJV. I recently watched an interview where a pastor, I use that term very loosely, said if you can't understand the KJV, and if you want to read a different Bible than the KJV Only, he thinks you're not saved. And he went as far as to say that all the other Bible translations are from the devil. Now, I can agree some are more accurate than others, but that's a little far. Especially to tell people they can't hear the shepherd's voice if they can't understand the KJV. I mean, that's completely ridiculous. And that's a statement born out of ignorance. And since the KJV was made, archaeologists have found much better manuscripts to use. The KJV was used with a manuscript called the Textus Receptus. And we found much older manuscripts since then. Manuscripts that date closer to the time of Christ. Plus, when it comes to the Tanakh or the Old Testament, the KJV did not use the Septuagint. It used the Masoretic text. That was like 800 years after Christ. The Septuagint was pre-Christ. Christ definitely read from the Septuagint. So one could argue that the Septuagint's way more accurate than the Masoretic text. But honestly, none of that even really matters. If you want to study the Word, I mean really study the Word, then you should be reading as many different translations as you can get your hands on. I read the Septuagint, the Aramaic, the Masoretic. And when it comes to Bible translations, I'd probably say the ESV is on the top of my list for daily readers. But the New King James Version is better, easier to read than the King James. The NASB is really good. Lately, I've been reading the TLV and the HCSB. Those have both been very good translations. And when I go to bed at night, I listen to an audio Bible, which is an NIV dramatized. I wouldn't suggest studying an NIV or having that be your only copy of a Bible, since those are thought-for-thought translations, which aren't really good if you're trying to in-depth study the Word. However, if you can't understand any other Bible translations than an NIV right now, reading an NIV is far better than not reading the Bible at all. And the longer you're in this and the longer you'll study, the easier it'll be. I have no problem with people reading a King James Bible. But to say that other Bibles are manipulated and from the devil is just horribly wrong. And I've looked into arguments of them removing texts out of other Bibles and it's inaccurate. And if you're new to Christianity, read any Bible.